Hey there everybody, Eric from OUTER LIMITLESS coming at you today with another video. Now in today's video I'm out here on this beautiful day setting up a tarp for just a day out, little bit of sort of a bushcraft scenario, doing a field review here of this tarp, and I realized that I did not bring any stakes with me. So at this point I'm pretty much stuck to fashion my own stakes so I can pin this down and finish up my setup. And so for that today I really only have one blade at my disposal here on my belt. This small little beautiful knife called the Heidi Blacksmith. Now this small little Heidi Blacksmith knife by the company Bestech. This is a gorgeous little blade in D2 tool steel. Now this is a small little blade for this task, but at the same time I know it will be up to the challenge. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now this Heidi Blacksmith knife, nice and compact, very small. It's kind of the size of like a kitchen paring knife, but sitting here beautifully in this well-crafted kydex sheath. I basically just took one of these molly locks, put it along standard spacing on those eyelets, and I've just been rocking it on the side of my belt. Now it stays out of the way, it's very small, it doesn't bother me, and I have had no concerns of it falling out. So the retention on this has been great. The size is very nice for a small little companion blade, and I could orient it in a number of different directions just for me today. This was just nice and easy, compact, slim, and is doing exactly what I need it to do. So at this point I need to get this into some field use to carve myself out some steaks. Now it's not that this is the most substantial task, but it needs to be done right and done well. So I need to find the proper stock for me to use, and just feeling around here, something that's going to be durable. See, that's going to break. I need to be careful. So finding something that I think is going to be a good suitable option for this steak. Definitely need to pay attention to the details. Tons and tons of deadfall around here, so just finding maybe the right piece, the right diameter, and something that's going to work well. You can see here just lots of branches and trees down, and this stuff's been here for a while, so I need something that's going to be just a little bit pliable and will do the work that I need. So to me, this here is probably a good candidate for a couple of reasons. One is it's still alive. But two is it's a little offshoot from another tree. Now over time these are going to have a problem with competition of space. Now I don't usually like to cut down things that are still alive, but to me this is perfect where it's again in competition of space, so it's always going to struggle, and you can see there's been offshoots in the past that have died out. So I'm going to use this, cut it down, and then this is going to give me some nice straight lengths to make my pegs. And even better, now that I look even closer, you can see up here some of these branches already dying off on this. So it may not be in the best of health in the first place, so I don't have too much guilt here cutting it down. So I think if I was to make 4 of these, I'd be in pretty good shape. I mean, each one of them doesn't need to be that long, maybe about 6 inches, maybe a little bit longer. So I'm pretty much just gonna make a little mark here to designate the length of each one of them. So that there is 1, 2, that's 3, and 4. So now I just need to get these to length, which I guess my plan is just to cross baton right down and through. Of course, I'm on the mushy log, but that's all right. That thing's wicked dead. Need a better platform. There we go. That's more like it. There we go. Now we're talking. So always round out the top of anything you're going to pound in. It kind of helps to prevent it from splitting. So that's the first thing. Just going to kind of round out the top here just a little bit. In fact, actually, now that I'm looking closer, I probably want this to be the top because of that big gnarly knot. I know that's going to be a pain to carve into a little point. So I'm going to change directions here for a second, carve this out as the top. I'm doing these nice little push cuts. You'll see this is getting some nice bite. This is a very small knife, but I'm asking it to do this work, and it's pretty comfortable. Generally speaking, feels good in the hands. I do like it. Little bit of an unsharpened swedge right there. So on a thin stock, it is going to bite into your thumb just a little bit, but you know, I can't complain. And the grind is definitely nice grind on this. Feels really good. Good bite on the wood. And just doing a nice job with these little push cuts here. So here, just doing those nice little push cuts. Rounding that out. No problem. And then down the bottom here, just trying to carve this away. So easily through all that bark, no problem. And now getting down into a little more of the meat. Feels good in the hand, a little bit of jimping right there. It's not overly aggressive, and my thumb sits on there nicely, so that feels pretty good. And you can see nice slicing angle on that grind. So very controlled, and in fact, if I just slow down a tiny bit, you can be very accurate. I'm going to just throw some curls your way, coming at you. You can just sort of really control what you're doing very nicely. Just fling them right at the camera there, coming at you. See if I can hit it. But anyway, again, just nice and comfortable as I work here. Getting this down into a nice little point. Making fairly quick work of this. Easing up now. This doesn't need to be like dagger sharp. Just needs to pound down into the ground. So that's probably good enough for my needs. And now I just need a little bit of a notch here to help hold my line. So that should work out pretty well. So again, using those batoning techniques, basically at this point I'm going to go straight down, maybe go a little higher, straight down here, not too deep. A little less than halfway, that's probably good. And then a little V-notch here. There you go. So pretty straightforward. And just clean this up just a little bit. That should give my line a nice deep bite there. Not going to come loose while this is down in the ground. And so far, this little Heidi Blacksmith is up for this challenge. So continuing on, I'm going to do this same exact thing to the rest of these steaks. So 4 in total. Just going to get to work here, carve these out. And then at the end of this, we'll take a look at the final product, and hopefully I can get my tarp finished up here, and that'll be the use for this little Heidi Blacksmith in this scenario. So another useful method for carving, which this seems to be doing pretty good, is just a little bit of a chest pull here. So the ability to get just some slightly larger pieces. Now the handle's just a touch on the small side for this, and you do need to be careful that it doesn't sort of roll in your hand. But if you're careful, you can definitely do it, and it's comfortable, and get some good chunks of wood here. So this is just another really great method to getting, I guess, a little bit more of an efficient carving motion. You'll notice my arms aren't moving much. I'm just kind of holding the knife and just like leaning in a little bit. It really reduces the overall amount of effort you need in carving, which is why this is nice. Use a little more of your chest, a little less of your arms at times. But again, good effective means, and it does exactly what I need it to. So this Heidi Blacksmith, having this beautiful kydex sheath, nice little thumb ramp, very simple to push off, just well done. And as I mentioned, standard spacing on the eyelets, that's always very important. So I was able to outfit this nicely with this tech lock here. Just fits perfectly. It's adaptable. It can go on molly webbing, backpacks, goes on my belt. You can use it vertically in a shoulder carry, inverted, which I would definitely trust this. Just a beautiful little knife, and the quality of the steel has been great. So even after all that use, you know, some smudging and staining here, but that's just par for the course. I mean, I was using this at pretty good length, and that, if you see, getting caught on my nail, little, nah, not even, well, maybe right there, just a little bit on that belly, just up past it, just a little bit of a roll right there, but very sharp on the rest of the blade. So the heat treat on this D2, very, very good. And just a gorgeous looking scale. Those mosaic pins, beautiful flat grind, nicely done. A little bit complex where you end up with that unsharpened swedge at the top. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous little blade. Indexing very well, just comfortably in the hands for a smaller knife, having that nice long handle. It is small and it is thin, but it's nice and long where you can index just beautifully, get a good purchase on the blade, few different grips. Now even for that pull cut, the alternate grips, getting your thumb right down on top, letting you do some good heavy work. This is definitely comfortable. Now I didn't use it for any stabbing tasks. I don't know if I would really suggest that. First off, you get a little bit of a point there, so it's not the most comfortable, and then just a close proximity to the blade, you just need to be careful. If you are careful, you can definitely do it, but it's a smaller blade and something you just want to take into consideration. But overall, for me, just a beautiful little companion blade. And now the other thing to point out is if you look at the top of the spine here, laser engraved, it does say Heidi Blacksmith. Now this says #1. I'm not sure if all of them are #1. I don't really know. I'll try to get some more details and annotate below. Or is it that this is actually like a prototype? So, or maybe the first production run. This is a gift from Bestech. I received this at SHOT Show 2020. So I don't really know the complete status of this, and at this point this is a normally released knife, and you are capable of getting it at a number of different retailers. So I'm just not 100% sure, but anyway, just as I mentioned, laser engraved in the top there, Heidi Blacksmith #1, little symbol B on the side, D2 tool steel, and then on this side the Bestech name brand logo. All right, so there you have it, a look at this Heidi Blacksmith from Bestech Knives. This knife is definitely up to the task, even though it is very small and dainty. Definitely a nice companion blade. Now, it's not going to be a do-all solution, that's for sure, but I can tell you this has been absolutely wonderful on a number of occasions, not just today. I mean, I've used this a bunch at this point, and it's a great little knife. Nice quality D2 tool steel, beautiful handle, nicely shaped. I like the pins, I like the overall choice of materials and the fit and finish. They do a wonderful job at Bestech, and this Heidi Blacksmith is just a great example of that. So all right guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.